Bengaluru, and one of the first things that comes to mind is its traffic. If you ask people living here what the biggest challenges are about living in this beautiful city with this fantastic weather, it's getting from point A to point B. Is this just anecdotal? Are we exaggerating the issue here? We have this fantastic panel here, government officials, private citizens, citizens groups working towards making Bengaluru a little easier to get around. Revathy Ashok of BPAC, are we exaggerating the situation? How bad is it? What is the speed at which we are traveling?
Well, the speed has now fallen down to 4 to 6 kilometers at peak time in high density corridors, and even sometimes lower. And we are all suffering. People are fatigued by the time they get home. It takes 2.5 hours one way. So it's really a bad situation. And so many people are wanting to shift jobs because they can't travel anymore and take that distance. I think it's a real problem.
From 2011, the population may have grown some 30%, 32%, but the buses have not kept pace. How do you assess this? I mean, is there space for those buses?
The number of buses in BMTC as of now is 6,000 odd, and we are carrying around 35 lakh passengers. Okay. And I believe the solution to the traffic congestion is that only more people shift from private mode of transport to the public mode of transport, whether it is BMTC, the railways, the metro. Because obviously the carrying capacity of a bus is as high. In a bus we could carry with standing capacity more than 60 passengers. So that would be the long-term solution, and we are adding the new fleet to our existing fleet. Around 600 odd buses we are adding this year, and the figures will only raise, especially with the electric buses coming in. The scenario is going to change.
The fact that maybe people feel they can't rely on the bus to arrive at 6:10, a 6:10 bus to arrive at 6:10, or for it being comfortable or not crowded, how do you attempt to address this thing, like the reliability? When does the bus actually arrive?
So there are two important aspects to this. One is the reliability, like we should meet the expected estimated time of arrival every time. And secondly, to have route rationalization kind of thing. And third, more importantly, people should have the information about when their next bus is coming. It has to be a real-time dynamic information that even if they have missed a bus, they know the timing of the next bus when it is arriving and how long it will take, how much would be the waiting time. So if the correct information is given and buses are run at adequate reliability, I'm sure this would encourage the commuters to take bus. We have installed VTUs, that is vehicle tracking units, on all of our 6,000 odd buses. So maybe in a fortnight's time, they will be able to have real-time dynamic information about estimated time of arrival.
At every bus stop?
At the information at bus stop would be static, but at the bus terminal and the metros, it will be dynamic, and on mobile apps also it will be dynamic.
So we see the construction going on, but it's taken years. It's a lot behind schedule. What is happening?
We are working on it, and hopefully by next year the phase 2 should be rolling out, and we'll be adding 33 kilometers to the existing 42 kilometers network. And we are also simultaneously working on phase 2A and 2B, which will be connecting rest of Bangalore with the airport as well as ORR line. And the thinking has also started on the phase 3 of metro.
How many passengers does the metro carry today, as of now?
As of now, our ridership has increased from 4 lakhs to average is 4 lakh plus, and on some days it is 4.64 lakhs as well.
So 4.6 lakhs, over 4 lakhs on the metro, and how many did you say on the buses?
35 lakhs.
We have taken some initiatives to cut down on the sort of private vehicles. Like we are encouraging use of cycles within the campus, YOLO cycles and those kind of things. And we have also introduced free shuttle buses. For the people living around Electronic City, they need not bring their vehicles. They can use these things. And definitely Elevated Road has helped us to commute better to Electronic City at times when there is no traffic jam on that. But
a traffic jam on the flyway, that is something which we do find here in Bengaluru.
And then after the flyover, the traffic has become two-way. Earlier, everybody was going to Electronic City and coming back. Now, there is thoroughfare traffic within Electronic City. We should come together as a as Bengaluru people, whether it is government or citizens, and beat the problem.
What kind of solutions do you see to make people move towards even more public transport and to discourage them perhaps from using their own vehicles? What are your suggestions?
I think the bus is, one of the best boons to Bengaluru. It carries a disproportionate number of people. But I think what we are missing is that we have all commuters, no matter from where and to where they're going. They're going to one end of the city, really outside the city, like Electronic City, or to Yashwantpura. They end up taking city roads. We're very unimaginative in using our train tracks. Really, when you're going from one suburb on Mysore Road, say Kengari, to Yashwantpura, you shouldn't need to touch the city roads at all because there's already train lines. And if you even take comparable, leave Bombay, it's it's maximum city. Yes. But you take comparable cities like Chennai, you have 30, 40 lakh people, or at least 25 lakh people daily that are traveling by trains, commuting, right? Hundreds of kilometers actually, 50, 60, 80 kilometers per day each way. We already have the tracks, we already have the stations, and with far less cost than building brand new infrastructure, if we enable suburban train services, even our buses will go faster.
Should there be one way in which we kind of make it not so easy for people to take out private transport as disincentives for that? What do you feel about that?
Absolutely. People that use the private transport, are taking unfair share of the public spaces. And if somebody is sitting in a bus with 60 others, they are using the public spaces in a much more socially responsible way. But unfortunately, they are the same people that get off and they have to breathe in the pollution, for example. So we have to rationalize the usage of public spaces in such a way that less people are inclined to take their private vehicles. For example, parking. Parking is free in literally everywhere you go in this city. If you impose parking fees, that will make people think twice before they step out and perhaps use a metro or a bus for whatever purpose that they are going out there.
What do you think are the best ideas really that you've heard today in terms of getting people onto public transport?
I think infrastructure is a separate issue because that's a much more long-term solution. But I think in the short run, we can do multiple things like providing seamless information so that a person getting into the from origin to destination, they can have seamless ticket booking, seamless information on multimodal transport.
So they can go from metro to the bus with knowing the timings.
And they know what people want to know is certainty of boarding a mode of transport and a certainty of timing, predictability at what time they will arrive at their destination. If they know that, people will plan their activities, and if we can provide seamless availability of information and payment, I think we would have done this.
We are planning to put a public information system on our metro stations.
About the buses as well.
About the buses, where we will give the feed, we will take the feed from BMTC and put when the next feeder bus is available.
Okay, and from this side?
Yeah, sure. So we will be giving our live feed to metro so that it can be displayed to their passengers once they get down from metro. At all the exits, we are trying to put this.
One step forward, yes.
Maya, this city has seen whole lot of people traveling outstation by buses. Buses are 5-star. If I'm a frequent traveler by bus outstation, it is outstanding. The level of information, the predictability, the way they pick up, the way they drop, hygiene. If we take care of all of this, everybody will travel.
The question of last mile connectivity though, when it comes to metro station, bus stands, how are we meeting?
We are contemplating with the idea of procuring or operating such type of buses for metro.
Our first priority will be tying up with BMTC to provide last mile and first mile connectivity to our passengers.
One thing that must be said though, yes, Bengaluru has a lot of challenges, a lot of problems, but I think there are lots of people who really want to get together and work to try and create a solution. We are still crawling along in Bengaluru right now. I think it'll take all of us a lot of time to get home, but as long as there is a thought of planning really for the future, let's be optimistic and hope that Bengaluru can get around just that much faster. With Govind Murthy, Maya Sharma in Bengaluru for NDTV.